How to store Gruyère cheese. Can it be left at room temperature? I bought a large quantity of Gruyère cheese, and I'm wondering if it can be stored at room temperature? Can I freeze it to avoid it spoiling quickly? In this video, we explain the best ways to preserve this type of hard Swiss cheese. Ways to store Gruyère cheese. Although Gruyère is a hard cheese, it should not be kept at room temperature as it can mold and sometimes spoil. It should always be stored in the refrigerator. Unopened Gruyère. If you bought a sealed block of Gruyère, it can be stored in the fridge in its original packaging. Normally, it will last about 2 months without going bad. Opened Gruyère. Once the Gruyère is opened, it will only last about a month in the fridge. It's important to wrap the cheese in plastic wrap or aluminum foil. If you have wax paper, wrap the cheese with that first, followed by plastic wrap on the outside. Shredded or sliced Gruyère in vacuum-sealed packages. If you have vacuum-sealed shredded or sliced Gruyère, it should be kept in the fridge and can last up to a week after the expiration date, but be careful with mold. If the package is opened, place the contents in an airtight container in the fridge, and it should last up to a week. Can you freeze Gruyère cheese? You can freeze Gruyère if you won't be eating it all right away, but it's best used in hot dishes afterward, as it loses some flavor and becomes crumbly. How to freeze Gruyère. Cut the cheese into 200 g portions to avoid waste when thawing. Wrap each portion in an airtight container or freezer bags and place it in the freezer. A block of Gruyère should last 3 to 6 months in the freezer without going bad. Freezing shredded or sliced Gruyère. If the cheese is already shredded or sliced, place it in an airtight container to prevent freezer burn. It will last as long as the block, about 6 months in the freezer. How to thaw Gruyère cheese. To thaw, place the cheese in the fridge overnight. Once thawed, it should last another 3 days, as long as it remains refrigerated. How to tell if Gruyère has gone bad. Always check the appearance and smell. Gruyère typically becomes dry and hard, develops a darker color, and has a very strong odor when it goes bad. If you notice something wrong, don't taste it, just throw it away. Mold can also appear. If it's on a whole block of cheese, you can remove the mold by cutting about 3 centimeters, 1 inch below and around the mold. Be sure not to let the knife touch the mold. However, if the mold appears on sliced or shredded Gruyère, discard it immediately. There's no way to tell which parts are contaminated.